Hello, my beautiful blossoms. Before this video starts, I would like to say that this video is a piece of crap. Yeah, there was no script written for it, so that's kind of fun. Also, the audio for it was recorded on my old tablet, so there's a weird background noise that it had in like all of my other older videos. You get used to it pretty quick, and yeah, have fun. How do I start this? This is like so weird.
Hello, my beautiful blossoms. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm here with my best friend, whose name you do not need to know. And we're going to be talking about a Karen encounter we had a couple of weekends ago.
Perfect! It's already done for me. Okay.
You're going to have me be the voice of your channel?
No! You're not good enough for that. Boom. How about that?
Whatever.
AJ. Okay. We are going to be talking about
a Karen encounter that we had a couple of weekends ago.
So we just got out of school, you know, we're chilling. Comes over to my house. We're hanging out like normal human beings do. And my mom's like, you have to interact with normal human beings. We're like, no. She's like, yes. So we go. We're at the park.
Okay. So the first time we went over to her parents and stuff, we were just kind of sitting around, and I was like, I bet she's a Karen. Yeah, and I was like, I bet she's a Karen. She doesn't have the cut, because she didn't have the Karen haircut, but she had the attitude.
She did have the attitude. She just had a long ponytail in the back. She didn't look like a Karen to me.
She kind of looked like a California woman.
Like, had like a tank top and some shorty shorts.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that have moved here from California because of various reasons. And she just seemed like one of those women that, like, the bleached hair.
That don't listen to anyone.
Yeah, and she just didn't give a crap. Okay, also, we were here with her little brother, who's not that much younger than us, actually. He's only about 6 months younger. And, so we were just chilling, and there's this little cliff face with the rocks, because you know how landscaping in a park is, you know. And there's a little bench, there's a couple benches up there, and there's some rocks all around. So we decided to be teenagers and start throwing the rocks. So we were up there. We were already up there, and we were just sitting on benches. And I just go up and I just pick up a rock. And there's a little pond down at the bottom.
It's actually pretty big. It's a pretty big pond.
And her mom and their nanny were there just watching the little kids. And they were across the pond. They could see everything we were doing. Yeah. And so basically,
we're having a competition, like who can throw rocks farthest into the pond. The farthest we got was like near the middle of the pond. No kids were anywhere near what we were doing.
And we made
sure of that.
Yes. So there were, let me say, there were some kids. There were some kids on the far side of the pond. They're way far away from where we even were. And then there were some kids
near the other side, like diagonally.
Like left of the pond from us. We were about in the middle of the pond.
Okay.
So, anyway. So we were just throwing the rocks, having a grand old time. And she and I were in softball. So we know how to throw.
Actually, I suck. I tried though. I couldn't get it in the middle. I could barely get it in the pond.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Also, so we were chucking some other bigger rocks to see how far we could make those and how big of a splash. We were just having a grand old time. So this woman comes over to us.
No, she just screams at us, "Stop throwing the rocks!" and walks away.
Yeah. And we're like,
And my brother is behind us, 10 feet away, didn't hear anything. She didn't hear her say that.
So we went over to him and said, hey, this woman just said to stop throwing rocks, so maybe we should go down and talk to, like, your mom or something.
We'll just go down, we'll just chill with the nanny and the mom and the little kid.
It's fine, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So we go over there, and her mom is like, hey, what's up? And we were like, well, this woman just told us to stop throwing rocks. And she was like,
she's not in charge of you. You go over there, you throw as many rocks as you want. I don't give a crap. We're like, sweet.
Yeah. So we go over back. We don't climb the rocks this time.
Yeah. Actually, my brother started skipping rocks. I was trying to skip rocks. I've never learned how to skip rocks, so I was trying to.
And also, her little sister came over with us, and she just kind of yells as loud as she possibly can. She's like, there's the Karen! So he's skipping rocks. She's trying to. And me and the little sister, I decided that we would get as many rocks as possible. We'd like collect them in our shirts or whatever. You know how you make a bowl with your shirt? We've all done that. We're human beings.
You used to hold like a big bowl of nachos while watching some TV or something.
That would be amazing.
Cheese everywhere.
Exactly. So we used that, and then we just took as many rocks as possible over to the pond to make the biggest splash as possible. And by now, we might add the kids that were kind of near us were on the opposite side of the pond now.
And this lady we had noticed before was just chilling on her phone.
And she was looking over at us the whole time.
And
the little sister went, "The Karen's on the phone and she keeps looking at us."
And I get really nervous when people start looking at me. So this girl kept like glaring at me a little bit, and I kept like, my heart was like pounding, and I was like, oh frick.
We're the kind of children that don't like to get in trouble, okay?
No, we never. I get scared of lunch detention. I'm the person that cries whenever someone gets mad at someone else.
Yeah. She cries if somebody else is crying.
Yeah. That's me.
Anyway, yeah. So one time, her brother skips a rock, and it lands about 10 feet away from one of her little sister's heads.
It was more of 15.
Yeah, it was more of 15. Okay? Yeah. But the point is, it didn't hit her, and it also wasn't near any of the other kids. Okay.
Now we get to the
climax.
The climax of the story. Not the word I was looking for, but close enough.
So,
the juiciness.
The
juiciness.
Okay. So, basically,
the cop shows up.
Yeah, this cop shows up. And we're like, oh shoot.
And
that's
my little
probably
sister
for us.
Screams,
"There's a cop here!
Karen called the cops!" And so I tell her, come and be quiet. Please don't be that loud. Anyway, so
this cop, we're like, it's probably here for us, knowing Karen's. So,
yeah.
and the cop. So the policeman comes over to us.
They start talking to the Karen.
Yeah. So they start talking to the Karen. They talk for about 5 minutes. And then the policeman comes over to us.
He makes like eye contact with me, and he does like that hand movement like, come over here. Hey kid, come over here. And me being scared, my legs are starting to shake. Yeah. I walk over to them, and what was like the first question they asked? I can't remember the order.
I wasn't there. You were. No. The first question was, were you guys the kids throwing rocks? Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what about it? And, well, we didn't say what about it. We were just kind of like, yeah.
Because we're scared.
Yeah.
We're scared of this. We don't know what's going to happen.
We've never had the cops called on us before.
We could be going to prison right now. Who knows?
Juvenile court.
No. Anyway.
So then he asks, did you keep on throwing rocks after a woman told you not to? And then her brother comes up because he legitimately did not hear her and said, I did not hear her say that.
And so it's like a truth, but we're lying. Me and Anna are lying.
Well, we didn't say anything, so it's not a lie. It's not a lie at all. We did not lie to police. We need to make that clear.
Yeah.
We just didn't say anything during that part. Her brother just came up and said, I did not hear her say that.
And so all of us were all in the conversation. There's this guy like behind the cop. He took a ride with the cop.
Yeah.
But he's just like chilling back there. He
seems kind of like he's learning how to be a cop.
Or maybe he's just the cop's friend.
Or maybe he's like a college student coming and doing a report on a cop.
I don't know. He looked young though.
Yeah. So anyway. Hear me out.
This woman is saying that you were throwing rocks over her children.
I said, so I guess he could tell by like the shocked look on my face that no, we were not doing anything like this.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, we made sure rocks were going nowhere near 20 feet. Any kid, we made sure of that. Nobody was going to get hurt. And it was...
Yeah, that's what she said. And then the cop literally stuttered. He was like, okay, well...
He didn't know what to say after that.
Yeah. Okay, so then and then he said, well, just make sure that when an adult tells you to stop doing something, you listen.
Sorry.
And he was like, The landscapers worked really hard on this, and the rocks don't belong in the pond. Keep in mind that this isn't like a little like concrete little random sandy pond. This is a pond. It's got moss at the bottom. It's got rocks. It's got sand.
We saw a sign sitting there in the middle of the pond, like underneath
saying
the
don't
water.
no fishing.
that was funny.
And also, people were swimming. Like, the people in the pond were swimming. They were swimming in the pond.
They were swimming on the sides, though, not in the middle where we were throwing rocks, okay?
Yeah. They were swimming in the pond. So,
he leaves after this.
yeah, and he was like, the rocks don't belong in the pond, so just stop throwing rocks. And we were like, okay, officer, because we were...
Anyway, so, like, he leaves. He's just doing his job.
His job is hard enough.
His job...
No,
his
he
time
doesn't
was
leave.
just
He
wasted.
talks... Yeah, he talks to the Karen for a few more minutes, and then he leaves.
Okay, yeah. So we have no idea what he said
we
to
go
Karen.
after he talked to us. We immediately kind of went back over to her mom and the nanny, and we were just kind of talking, and we were like,
I was like
we told
about
them-
to cry at this point.
Yeah,
He
we told
turns
them what
away.
happened.
I forced myself to laugh after he leaves because
So we
I was
started
about to
laughing
cry.
too because I thought that she was fine.
It's great. So we go back to the parents, to my mom.
And so we tell her the whole story, and she's like, well, this is an absolute Karen. Like, these are my kids. This cannot be tolerated. She sits there for a second. She's like, what should I say? How should I phrase this?
How am I going to go, she was going to go,
Confront the Karen.
confront the Karen. And so she was, like, preparing herself about what she was going to say, because she doesn't want to, like, go up there and look like an absolute fool.
Yeah.
So she prepares herself, and she goes over and walks up to the Karen. Now, here's what she said happened. Now, we don't know if this is, 100% true,
Because we were just kind of sitting over there, kind of watching it from a distance.
Yeah, because don't know if it's, 100% true, after, we're telling this wrong.
Yeah, it's gone through, so there might be some slight adjustments, but for the most part, it's about what?
It's about true, yeah. So anyway, so she gets up there and she goes, hey, are you the one that called the cops? And she's 100% proud of herself, and she goes,
she's like, yeah, I was.
100% yes. And so she goes, those were my kids. That's what my mom said. Those were my kids. And she was, smile goes away, and she goes, oh.
And she was like, those were my kids. Did you ever think about coming and talking to me? And the woman was like, no, I didn't know that they had parents here.
And so my mom goes, did you ask? And she goes, well, no. She goes, okay then, why the heck did you call the cops?
Did you really think, another thing, Dad, we think that we saw her talking on the phone and kind of looking over at us before she even came and told us to stop throwing rocks.
So we're pretty sure that she was on the phone with the police, and
before
then they told
she
her.
even told us not to.
Yeah. So my mom tells her, okay, so you called the cops. Do you think the cops had anything better to do than come here and tell
do you think that was
to stop throwing rocks in the pool? And she goes, no, I don't think they had anything better to do.
She's like, why did you call the cops? And she was like, because they were throwing rocks over my kids. And she was like, okay, our ankles are a little bit different. I saw what they were doing the entire time.
I was head on with them.
They were not throwing rocks over your kids. And she was like, yeah, they were.
I had perfect eyesight since I was a child. That's what she legitimately said. And then my mom's like, okay, there's no persuading this person. She said, nice knowing you, Karen.
Oh, okay.
And then left. She called her a Karen to her face!
It was
amazing! Yes! Heck yeah!
It was the best thing ever.
Justice has been restored.
We started packing up. And
we started packing up right after that.
So that's our Karen confrontation story.
So subscribe, comment.
Like and subscribe and comment your Karen story.
Let us know if you would like some more Karen or some more stories because we have a whole bunch more.
Because we have a whole bunch more stories.
Or if you would just like us to sit here and talk for an hour or something.
Or just to stop talking and just keep on doing animations. That works too. And the comments saying I love you.
Well, I think
and if you don't, I will personally hunt you down and kill you.
Well, frick. Bye-bye. Love you all.